Did you hear what's going on with Trump and them? Apparently, they shut down November and December food stamp. I just got a note.
I don't need you guys telling me to go to work. I obviously know I can go to work if I choose to, but I'm not going to.
With Trump, but I don't know if he want war or not, but niggas is ready.
There's no bank somewhere that has a stash of money that's sending to you because you don't work.
All right, guys. So you probably already know that the government is currently shut down. And apparently that means a lot of people might not be receiving their SNAP benefits for the month of November. And let me tell you, the internet is in full meltdown mode. People are crying, panicking, recording themselves in grocery store aisles, acting like the sky just fell because their EBT cards declined. Now, I do want to be clear. I understand that there are people who genuinely need EBT. I'm talking about disabled people. There are parents with children, the elderly, people who truly depend on it for survival. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about able-bodied adults who think that the government is their daddy and welfare is a lifestyle. And it is disgusting, not because people need help, but because the moment the government stops feeding people, they lose their minds. Total emotional collapse. Now, to be clear, this just isn't about assistance. It is about dependency. It's about people depending on the government like it's God, people depending on something that can vanish with one political argument and a signature on a shutdown order. Not to mention the same politicians people vote for are the reason why we're in this mess. So if you're going to cry about your benefits being paused, at least cry in the direction of the party who you help elect. And the fact that so many people cannot function without the monthly deposit should be a wake-up call to this entire country. So today, we're going to talk about it. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am Carmen, Jaycee. If you're new here, make sure you hit the like or the subscribe button. Or if you want to support the channel, hit the super thanks or the buy me a coffee link below. Also, if you guys could do me a favor and drop a comment for the algorithm, I want to hear from you guys as well. But let's go ahead and get into it. All right, guys. So this whole SNAP cutoff thing has people online actually losing their minds. And you already know it is the same suspects, the usual suspects. People are acting like the world ended because their EBT card won't swipe at Walmart. But before we get into the chaos, let's start with what's actually happening. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the news coverage on this. Take a listen. Good.
Department of Agriculture says it will not fund the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP if the government shutdown extends into November.
Now, this would impact about 42 million people across the country who rely on SNAP benefits to buy food. The USDA sent a letter to state agencies last week saying there would not be enough funding to pay for the entirety of November's benefits. It also told states not to send certain files to the contractors that load those EBT cards that people on SNAP use. A budget agreement that reopens the government would also restore SNAP funding. But the shutdown continues now into its third week with negotiations at a standstill.
All right. So now, obviously, a lot of people are mad about not getting their benefits. So let's hear what some of them had to say. Here is the First Lady. Take a listen.
I'm going to tell y'all straight up like this. I just got that text that the link is definitely cut the fuck off for November. Y'all better stay the fuck out of my way in these stores. I'm walking out with cards and I'm not paying for shit. Trump, if you want motherfuckers start looting, it's gonna happen. Before my kids go broke in this bitch like Jock, I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow. I am going to go in that store, get everything I get regularly. I'm going to bag my shit up, swipe my link card. As soon as that bitch say ain't no pending balance on there, I'm going to walk the fuck out. And I'm going to have one of my cousins with me that'll punch your ass so hard you're going to think a Jet 2 holiday hit your bitch ass if you think I ain't finna walk out that stuff.
So this woman says she's going to steal and do what she has to do. And it really just goes to show how broken the mindset has become. There are so many options. You have food pantries, churches, family members, and even community programs. But instead of turning to any of those resources, she jumped straight to crime. No shame or no hesitation. It's not even desperation anymore. It is straight up entitlement. The outrage isn't about food. It is about control. People are used to being fed by the government that when it stops for a day, they act like the whole world has ended. It is embarrassing. Now, let's go ahead and take a listen to this next young lady, and I'm not sure it's going to be any better.
Did you hear what's going on with Trump and them? Apparently, they shut down November and December food stamp. I just got a note from them saying they gonna shut my food stamps. Ohio, you bet not. You better not feed in that allegation. You better pay me my food stamps. I better get my food stamps. How am I supposed to feed my family? How? How am I supposed to take care of my children, my mother? How? How? Thanksgiving's around the corner, the holidays. I'm finna go steal everything. Everything. I'm not wrong. Free me. Cause guess what? I'm locked up. They won't let me out. I wish they would. Oh, wow. Let me not get no food stamps November and December. Free me. Get my commissary out. Cause I'm taking up the stove and taking everything. I'm not wrong. I'm going up in there with a bob. They won't know who I am. They won't know. I need my food stamps. ASAP. Trump, what did you just do? What did you do? I don't get food stamps November and December? Excuse me? Making my way downtown to the White House. I'm going to White House. Quick. I'm going to the White House. Quick. I'm going to the White House. To me, Trump. What did you do with my food stamps? I want my EBT.
Now we have another person saying the exact same thing, and you can look at her and tell that she's perfectly capable of working. None of this behavior is normal. It shows how far the moral decline has gone, especially in the Black community. The first time we don't get our way, we resort to crime, and that is a collapse in itself. And these are the same people who swear they're resilient. They built everything, that they don't need anyone. And yet, the moment that the car doesn't load, it is a full meltdown. It is delusional. But let's go ahead and take a listen to one more lady. And spoiler alert, she's going to blame Donald Trump. Take a listen.
Trump, it ain't nothing like niggas been knew how to steal. Like, please, niggas, I'll go steal a whole turkey and a ham. Like, what I don't know what's wrong with Trump, but I don't know if he want war or not. But niggas is ready. Yo, the internet is not letting up. Y'all got me crying. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, it is like, damn, like, dang. Like, niggas don't give a right? But at the end of the day, it's like, you feel me? I'm mad, but I got food for me. I got food for days. If you know me, you already know how I give it up. Freezer go crazy. But at the end of the day, shit, I go buy it or I go steal it. It ain't nothing. I steal all that shit. Shit, anyway. Y'all ready for the looting? The fuck on. I'm in tune this time. I ain't missing this time. Shit, I'm outside.
And there it is, another tantrum, another blame game, and now Donald Trump is the villain. But no, your benefits stopped because your party refused to work with the Republicans and decided they wanted to fund illegal immigrants instead. That's why the whole government is shut down, not because of Trump. It's always someone else's fault until it's time to look in the mirror. And let's be honest, this is not about hunger. It is about a culture that's addicted to dependency. People are more upset about declined EBT cards than declining standards in their own communities. The behavior is disgusting. The logic is absolutely done. And quite frankly, the culture is paying for it. Now, before we go on to the next person, I'm going to show you guys one last clip. And this lady is white. And she's proudly saying she'll never work and plans to live off the government assistance forever. I am not kidding. Take a listen.
I live off the government. I don't need you guys telling me to go to work. I obviously know I can go to work if I choose to, but I'm not going to. I don't know how to get this through your guys' thick skull. I am never going to work. I will live off the government for the rest of my life. I have plenty of money this way. Why would I ever choose to go to work? What you guys don't get is that we have income. We're not just sitting on our asses all day. Therefore, we get that income plus our food stamps, which is $1,500 a month every single month. So yeah, we're living large and in charge over here. So you all can just shut up. Quit telling me to get a job. I will not be doing that. I will not be taking that advice. I will not be... No. Just because you're not as smart as me to live off the government does not mean that I should have to get a job. So keep that in mind. Have a great day.
And this right here proves that entitlement has no color. People are fully able to work, brag about freeloading, while taxpayers funding them can't even qualify for help. That is the real issue. It's not about race. It is about mentality. lazy, ungrateful, and proud of it. This is why people are done with government dependency, because too many people treat it like it is a lifestyle instead of a temporary handout. You cannot call yourself free while living off a system you depend on to survive. It is completely inverted and totally backwards. Well, thank God. Thankfully, there are still some people left in this country who still operate with logic and self-control. These next two young ladies are going to actually say my exact sentiments, and I want you guys to go ahead and take a listen to this first young lady. Take a listen.
All right, now, they said in November they cutting this SNAP program, they cutting the food stamps, and people are pissed. Now, I genuinely feel bad for the individuals who can't work and do have to collect these benefits. But for those of you that have working hands and feet that choose to stay home and collect these benefits, I don't feel bad for you. And to all of you that are talking about, I'm walking up in that store and I'm taking what I want and I'm not paying for it and I better not get touched, keep that same energy when the cops come. Keep that same energy when you're standing before the judge. Keep that same energy when you're sitting in a cell. Keep that same energy when your children have sleepless nights because their parents are sitting somewhere in a cold cell because they wanted to do something reckless. That mentality will get you nowhere. And I don't know why we're not realizing this in 2025. You can't just walk up in a store and take what you want. Nobody owes you anything. If it was really that serious to you and you really needed those benefits, you would prioritize. Getting your hair, nails, and lashes done is not a necessity. Name brand shoes and clothes are not a necessity. And let's not forget, this halt is temporary. A permanent solution to a temporary problem is not worth the risk. So go ahead, run up in them people's store and take what you want. Let's see what happens.
First of all, she is absolutely right. You have to prioritize. And if you're out here stealing, that is bad decision making. So who's going to take care of your children when you're locked up? Because if you have someone else to take care of your children, why not just go and ask that person to help you? I see a lot of women out here with these fresh wigs, these long nails, designer clothes, crying because their EBT didn't load. The math is not mathing. We have to do a better job at knowing the difference between a want and a need, because these people don't want help. They want handouts, and that is the problem. Now let's go ahead and take a listen to this next young lady, and I absolutely agree with her as well. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
So I keep seeing videos where everyone's complaining and crying and so scared because allegedly their EBT SNAP benefits are going away effective November 1st. And I've seen all these videos where people are saying Trump is taking away food from people right before the holidays. So let me just remind you of something in case you've forgotten. Food stamps, EBT, SNAP benefits, Section 8, that is all under a government assistance program of which taxpayers who work pay for. There's no bank somewhere that has a stash of money that's sending to you because you don't work. And now this video has nothing to do with the people who are disabled, have disabled children. I'm talking about able-bodied workers. There's no bank anywhere where you get free food. That's not a thing. We pay for it. The people who work, taxpayers, we pay for it. So now you guys are crying, oh my God, Trump is taking away our food stamps right before the holidays. When did you think your food stamps was going to go away? Because again, it's government assistance, help. It's temporary while you get on your feet. It was not for you and your kids and your kids' kids and all your families and generational free food. That's not what it was. The Section 8, when you guys were crashing out about that a couple months ago, because now you can only be on Section 8 for 2 years. And to be eligible for it, you have to work at least 20 hours a week. Same thing with Medicaid. Aside from people who have disabled family members, you have to work at least 20 hours a week to get that. You can't get free stuff. You can't. And it has nothing to do with the government shutdown. Because if the government was still open, you still can't stay on government assistance your whole life unless you're disabled and you cannot work or you care for a disabled family member or child. So you guys literally thought you were just going to get free food just forever? And then remember when you guys were all crashing out because Kennedy put that new law in effect where food stamps, you can't purchase like junk food, sweets, sugary drinks. It's for healthy food. And you guys were mad about that because you can't buy frozen pizza anymore. And you were crashing out about that and throwing hissy fits in the grocery store. So the food was for healthy food. And so now you're mad because you have to buy healthy food. And then you were going to Disneyland and all these amusement parks and restaurants using your EBT card to get like all kind of junk food in amusement parks and go to Subway and Chipotle. That's not what food stamps was for.
See, this is what common sense sounds like. Nothing is free. There is no magic bank giving you money. Those are taxpayer dollars. The goal is to help you get on your feet, not to help you stay in the system forever. That is exactly why people are starting to have a problem with it. They see the abuse. If you guys didn't abuse the system, people wouldn't have such a problem with it. But instead, when the money doesn't hit, people panic and resort to crime. And it's just going to make the situation worse. Actually, I'd argue it destroys any sympathy people had left for you because accountability does not trend, so nobody wants to hear that. What we're seeing right now isn't just the government shutdown, it is exposure. The truth is, if your survival depends on the government, you are not free. Dependency destroys ambition. Entitlement destroys community. And when the system stops feeding people, you find out who is built for stability and who is built for excuses. Now, to be clear, needing help is one thing, but worshiping the same system that keeps you dependent, that is insanity. And stealing is not going to solve anything. It's only going to make the situation worse. We have to get better at prioritizing and making smarter decisions, because if we don't, life will make those decisions for us and we will not like the outcome. When the free ride stops, the meltdowns begin, and that should tell you everything we need to know about where we are as a society. The meltdowns wasn't just online. It is moral, mental, and generational. I am Carmen, Jaycee. If you're new here, make sure you hit the like or the subscribe button. And if you want to support the channel, hit the super thanks or the buy me a coffee link below. Also, make sure you guys go ahead and drop a comment so we can stay in the algorithm. You know, I love hearing what you guys have to say. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time.
I'm breaking chains, freeing minds, it's a time to rise. Conscious culture in my veins, yeah, we see through the lies. They telling stories, trying to mold what we thinking inside. But I'm cutting through illusions, showing truth worldwide. They trying to box us in, but we step out the line. Redefining who we are, no longer falling behind. I see the games they playing, how they shape our design. So I'm speaking for the thinkers who refuse to be blind.